Hello, and welcome back to another Path of Exile video. This one's going to be pretty interesting. It's a pretty unique strategy. I made a video about using the Orb of Horizon to do a vendor recipe for re-rolling your scarabs. And now we're going to be shifting one slot over to the left, and we're going to be using the Harbinger's Orb for something that you may not have known that it can be used for. Most people just think that the Harbinger's Orb obviously does what it says, reforge a map of another of a higher tier. But in case you didn't know, I actually found this out recently. This can actually turn a map into the Harbinger unique map, the Beachhead. So what that means is if you use it on tier 15s, or it could just turn into a tier 15 Beachhead. In case you're wondering, it cannot turn into the infused Beachhead. The infused Beachhead is only available through Harvest, okay? So basically the idea is we're going to be spamming Harbinger Orbs on a bunch of tier 15 maps. There's going to be two outcomes. We're going to be getting a bunch of beachheads, which sell for about 15C a pop. I will show you right here. I just did a search, and there's a bunch of trades for about 15C each. So that's great. So of course we're going to be getting a bunch of tier 16 maps because the Harbinger's Orb. For everything it doesn't turn into a beachhead, it's going to turn it into a random tier 16 map. However, the randomness of that is questionable. I'm pretty sure it's only like natural tier 16s, so there's not a whole lot to choose from, and you end up getting a whole lot of Ashen Wood, a whole lot of Port, a whole lot of Crimson Temple, and then a few others, mainly being Dungeon, but it seems to be that Dungeon's not very popular for people to run. I have a lot of Dungeon maps. I'm currently selling these for 0.5C each, and they do sell for 0.5C each, it just takes a while. Not a lot of people are looking for bulk tier 16 dungeon. In my opinion, it's not a terrible layout, it's just, I guess it's not popular. But people definitely do like to buy Ashen Wood. The current offers are only for about 3 minimum, so I'm definitely gonna bump my price up there. But I've also been selling a lot of Port and a lot of Crimson Temple. These sell for about 2 or 1.5 each, and that's great. So basically we're gonna see how many we can make. And I know you're thinking like, wow, you have a lot of Harbinger's Orbs. Do you really have that many tier 15 maps? And the answer is, yes, I do. I do have that many tier 15. These are all tier 15 maps. These are all non-corrupted, and they're ready to go. Now, let's talk logistics for a second. So I bought all of these, in case you're wondering, this is 576, I believe the math works out to be. It's 24 slots per row. So yeah, 576 maps right here. So I have just enough Harbinger's Orbs. I bought every one of these Harbinger's Orbs for 1.5C each. That's not easy to do. Most of the offers when you're purchasing them are for 2C each. For the sake of the video, I'm probably going to want to value this at 2C each because that seems to be the bulk of the supply is being sold for 2C each. And I know you're probably wondering, okay, well, how long did it take you to buy all those maps? Surprisingly, these maps, every one of these maps were purchased in 2 different transactions. I contacted one guy who was selling them for 0.5C each, and I said, I'll buy them all. I said, I'll buy all your tier 15s. And he said, okay, cool. He sold me 400 of them in one go, all for 0.5C each. The other guy sold me about 200, and he charged 1C each, which seems to be the standard rate, 1 chaos per uncorrupted tier 15 map. That seems fair. But I did get a really good deal on like more than half of these maps. So with that in mind, each attempt at turning a map into a Harbinger is going to cost, to be on the safe side of things, is going to cost 3 chaos. So if we do get an average amount of Harbinger maps, it will be like, that will essentially pay back for what we invested. And then we're going to have a bunch of tier 16 maps to sell over time, and all of those being sold is going to be pure profit, because all the Harbingers are going to pay for the cost of the investment, and then all the other tier 16s is basically just icing on the cake. That is under the assumption that we actually get as much Harbingers as like dictates for the average. I'm gonna guess it's a 1 out of 7, which is a really strange number, but it really does feel like it's about a 1 out of 7 chance. It's not quite 1 out of 6, not quite 1 out of 8. So with that being said, we should expect to get 82 Harbinger maps. Yep, that's the right math. I'm just checking myself because it doesn't sound right, but that is right. If it's a 1 out of 7 chance, we should expect to get 82, something around 80 Harbinger maps. And if that is the case, if we get 80 Harbinger maps, that is about 1,200 chaos. So that's clearly worth it in that regard. And then all the other maps are being sold for pure profit. But that's how it works, and the only thing left to do is to start rolling. Okay, here we have it. Everything's done. That wasn't too bad. That didn't really feel too bad. I'm not really sure how to tell how many we got here. I'm just gonna pull them all out. We'll just be able to see from there, I guess. I think we got way more than 80. So this is 60. I can put these into my app. So I already had one, by the way. I had one laying around, so I'm gonna put this in here for now. So this is all true value here. That's 60. Take out some more. Wow. We got a lot more than I was expecting. That's really good. This is 72 total. And that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is 25, 29 plus 72. We actually got 101. Holy shit. We got 101 beachhead unique maps. So I guess you could say it's about a 1 out of 6 chance. It seems to be. My sample set isn't high enough to make any sort of like concrete assertions, but it seems to be about 1 out of 6. And 101 beachhead maps is 1,500 chaos. And that's pretty easy value because these do sell pretty well in bulk. Not to mention, we now have a whole bunch of tier 16 maps that will sell for, you know, some of them like Ashen Wood here. All of these Ashen Woods are about 3C each, and that's really, really nice. Crimson Temples are at the very least 1.5C each. I've been selling them for 1.5. All these ports are going to be 1.5 each, maybe even 2. These dungeons are basically trash. These dungeons are really not that valuable. But yeah, I mean, that's a whole lot of bulk sales to be had in the next coming hours or so. So for the sake of digging a little bit deeper into the true value of this strategy, I'm gonna put everything into notepad form and just really tally it all up. So 576 Harbinger's Orbs at 2C per. By the way, once again, I will mention I did not pay 2C for them, but that seems to be the average going rate. That's a 1,152 chaos. So 576 tiered 15 maps is 1C per. And once again, I didn't pay 1C, but that's what I'm just gonna say for the sake of the video. So that's going to bring our total up to 1,728 chaos invested into the strategy so far. And that's really it. That's the only thing invested, right? Unless you count like the 40 ID scrolls to un-ID a couple of the maps that were unidentified. But that's the total investment, right? So the return is 101 Harbinger maps at 15 C per, 1,515 chaos. And now I will actually count everything else. So I just counted 117 ashen wood. It looks like these are being sold in bulk for 3C each, but just to be safe, just to stay on the safe side of things, I would just say 2C each. That's gonna bring our total profit to 1749. That's really weird. We have the same number of Crimson Temple. That's really strange. So that's gonna bring our total up to 1,924 chaos. And we also have port. Really close, but it's actually 113. It's funny. So 113 ports. Hey, this is Chuck Steeg coming at you from the editing process. I just realized that I didn't actually add the total of the port maps to the notepad or even talk about the total, but I did actually add that to the final estimate for the total amount of profit calculated. So the numbers are right, it's just I didn't actually show the port maps value themselves. These are now keep in mind, these are all the numbers I'm using that is being really safe with the ranges of the value. Like I said, I bought the Harbinger Orbs for cheaper than 2, I bought the maps for cheaper than 1, and I'm probably gonna sell the Ashen Wood for more than 3, or sorry, for more than 2. But with the numbers that we have, with, you know, staying on the safe side of the estimates, we are looking at a profit of 365 exalts, 365 chaos, which comes out to about, with current prices, like 2.4 exalts. And to be honest with you, you know, 2.4 exalts profit with the time invested if you're buying these for these prices and selling these for these prices. I mean, that's not bad. That's truly not bad. I personally made a lot more than that because of the good prices that I got on things. But yeah, it's cool to see that it's actually worth doing at all. Hey, so I figured I'd just throw in a follow-up real quick in the middle of the video here, because while I've been editing, I finished recording and then I've been editing for about an hour. I'm nearly done. And the whole time I've been editing, I've been getting whispers, and I actually sold a total of 88 beachhead maps so far. I sold all of them out of this tab, and I sold the rest out of here, so I have 13 left for the beachhead maps for 15C each, and I also sold a good number, like a lot of tier 16 maps out of this tab and out of my normal map tab itself, including somebody showed up and bought all of the dungeons. So I had my guild stash just filled with dungeon maps, but somebody actually bought every one of my dungeon maps for 0.5C each. So yeah, just like a quick update, these maps are selling. It's only been about an hour and a half or so since I've been editing, and they're going. I'm getting a lot of whispers, and I'm selling almost every one of my beachheads. So in case you're wondering, like, hey, are you actually going to sell that for what you say? The answer is yes. Basically, this video proves the point that rolling tier 15s with Harbinger Orbs is actually worth it. You know, I'm not saying it's a viable money-making strategy compared to just blasting maps with a headhunter, right? But it's fun to do. I had fun doing this. And if you have like 30 of these laying around, throw it on a couple tier 15s and maybe you'll get like 2 or 3 of these out of it. Instead of selling your Harbinger Orbs, just fuck it, make some of these, right? I hope you enjoyed watching. It's just a funny little video. I'm going to now deal with all of these. The good news is these are all already in a premium tab, so I can just simply turn this on and I can price these easily and sell them right out of the tab, so that's cool. Anyways, thanks for watching.